Eyes on one of the most high-profile cases in the country, from Netflix screens to reality in the courtroom, and a new man about to be in charge at the LA County District Attorney's Office. Nathan Hochman, aware of what's on the line in the possible resentencing of Eric and Lyle Menendez.
In the Menendez case situation, you'd have to review thousands of pages of confidential prison files that I don't have access to at this point.
Eric and Lyle were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in the 90s after they shot and killed their parents, Kitty and Jose. The brothers said they were physically and sexually abused and killed their parents in self-defense. The prosecution argued the brothers were financially motivated, and after hung juries and 2 trials, a final jury ultimately agreed. Decades later, enter George Gascon, a Democrat LA district attorney, by way of several previous jobs, including here as the Mesa police chief for 3 years.
And we have had probably one of the biggest crime reductions of any city in the area in history.
Last month, Gascon announced a suggested resentencing for the brothers, and if granted, would make them immediately eligible for parole. But Gascon just lost his bid for re-election this week to Hochman. The Menendez resentencing hearing is set for December 11th, but Hochman will take office just 9 days before, on December 2nd. So will that resentencing hearing still stand?
So if the Menendez case lands on my desk after December 2nd, I will engage in exactly that type of review. And only then, after all that extensive review, can a DA have an appropriate opinion on whether resentencing is just or unjust and what that resentencing should be.
Hochman says this case will be high priority and he will expedite file review, knowing there is a lot on the line and decades that have gone by for the entire Menendez family, the brothers, and those involved in the case. He says the public deserves to have a decision done as soon as it can be.
Again, if for some reason I need additional time, I will seek that additional time from the court.
The LA County Court sent out information this week that there's now a status conference for this case at the end of November, so we should learn more then, but it may take Hochman getting into office on December 2nd to know exactly what will happen. It's a lot in a little amount of time.
Yeah, and people here in the Valley remember George Gascon when he was chief in Mesa as one of the main political foes of former Sheriff Joe Arpaio.
Yes.
So that's his claim to fame here in the Valley. But through the DA's office in LA, is that the only way, is that the only path for the brothers to be freed?
No. And there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes in terms of other parts of this case legally, but Gascon last week sent letters to California Governor Gavin Newsom supporting the Menendez brothers' bid for clemency. Now, if Newsom were to grant that clemency, they could be released immediately, possibly even before Hochman takes office. That would be a lot in a short amount of time, but it's not impossible. But Newsom's office didn't respond to any sort of questions or comments. They said that any sort of clemency request is confidential. So it's one of those kind of wait and see situations, but that's still a viable situation before and after Hochman takes office. It's that real kind of question of, will Hochman support the resentencing? And if he does, will he actually want to push through the sentencing 9 days after he takes office?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how all of this plays out.
Yeah.
Brianna, thank you.